everybody, and welcome back to the Upper Room. This week we're talking about tactics of the devil. Now, why is this important? Well, we as a country, we won't go to war with our enemy without us first knowing everything about our enemy before we engage them. Whether you like it or not, the devil is engaging you. He's going to take his time to find the most appropriate moment in your life to strike an attack. And you should be cunning enough to know the ways that he does attack. So the first way that he does attack is with temptation. He'll tempt you by your senses, by your flesh. We know this because when Jesus was tempted, he tempted all the human side of Jesus. He tempted that Jesus was hungry, so he tried to convince him to just turn stones into bread after he fasted for 40 days. Nobody was really believing not very many people were believing who Jesus was. So he told him to throw himself down off that cliff, and it is written that God's angels will come and lift you up, and you shall not dash your foot on a stone. So everyone would have believed him if he would have did that. Then finally, Jesus rebuked him 2 times. Finally, the devil tempted him with power. He told him, all the kingdoms of the world I will give you if you bow down and worship me. They are mine to give. Jesus never denied this. This means the world belongs to the devil, because at some point it was given to him. The devil will also attack you in other ways. He will send those who are closest to you to try and convince you to do something, to commit a sin against God. So he would send people closest to you because you trust them. And in order for you to sin, he needs to get close to you and needs to get you alone or in a place to where you're capable or able to sin. Number 2. Number 3, his main objective is to destroy you and to destroy any source of real truth that is in the world that will save many people and bring them to Christ. He's not going to waste his time with people who aren't fully the truth. They could be partially true, they could be somewhat true, but if they're not fully true, then it's a false doctrine, and many people really won't live. They'll die. So there's no need for him to focus all his attention on a person like that. He'll focus all his attention on someone who is a threat to him, on someone who truly does know the truth because Christ has revealed it to that person and has instructed that person to go out and tell others because he knows or she knows. That's who the devil is going to focus all of his attention on, because that person is a threat, because he knows the truth, because the devil knows the keys to heaven. He knows what will get people in. So we have to be very cautious about the choices and decisions that we make. The flesh is very weak. We know this because the Bible tells us so. But the spirit is willing. It's best to avoid sin at all cost. Don't try to face it and confront it, because a lot of times we're not strong enough. But if you do come to a time where you are tempted by the devil, stand firm in your faith. Pray, because the devil will flee from you, because God is coming to your aid. The devil's afraid of God. Number 4. The one thing the devil wants you to believe is that he can read your thoughts. He may send a demonic spirit, or he himself may put ideas in your head, have voices talking to you in your head. But just because you can hear those things, just because you can hear the bad things that they're telling you to do or trying to get you to do, or saying mean things about other people when you're really not that way at all, just because they're saying those things to you in your mind doesn't mean that they can actually read and understand what you're thinking. It doesn't mean that. If I go across the room and I say, "Hey, can you hear me?" But they have another means of communication. They don't communicate necessarily with their voice. Perhaps they communicate in another way. But we know because the Bible tells us that the devil cannot read our thoughts. So if you're planning something, if you're trying to do good work for God to save souls, don't pray for it out loud. Pray for it in your mind. Because God can see your thoughts. God can hear you, whether you open your mouth or not. Even if someone is mute, they would pray with their thoughts and God would hear them. So thanks again for watching The Upper Room. I'm Jared. Understand the tactics of the devil and plan a strategical defense against him. See you next week.